Hello everyone. My name is Molly Birch and I'm coming to you live from the TV6 digital desk. We have a special interview to share with you today. Comedian Charlie Berens is performing 2 shows at the Rozsa Center in Houghton tomorrow. Berens is a comedian, New York Times best-selling author, Emmy-winning journalist, musician, and the creator of the Manitowoc Minute. The Wisconsin native has become known for his social media sketch comedy, which focuses on Midwest culture and lifestyles. The first 7 o'clock show sold out in minutes, and he then added the 10 p.m. show. TV6's Houghton-Hancock bureau reporter Colin Jackson sat down with Berens over Zoom today to discuss his history, share some Midwest survival tips, and prime the audience for tomorrow's shows in Houghton. Let's take a look at that interview.
So you've also worked in broadcast media and as a journalist outside of the comedian career that you have now. So how did this transition to comedy come about?
Yeah, I mean, it worked. I was excuse me. So I was doing local news like for a few years, but then basically I was trying to be an anchor. And I was an anchor for a short period of time, but then I have this accent, and that, among other things, they would always see these words that I did wrong, or they would hear words I did wrong, or tell me I mispronounced this, or I had to do that VO over again, or something like that. And long story short, it didn't work out at one place. It didn't work out at another place. And then I got to Los Angeles, where I was now at this point doing red carpet reporting and entertainment reporting, which, if you really want to call that reporting, but it was like red carpets and stuff. I mean, which, it just kind of drove me a little nuts, because I wasn't that interested in what was going on the red carpet. So what I then did is I started doing stand-up to kind of keep my mind interested in things and in what I really wanted to do. So when I was doing stand-up, I decided to create this character based off of my time in local news, except instead of doing all the things people said I was doing wrong and fixing them, I took all the things people said I was doing wrong and I doubled down on them. And that was kind of the basis for the Manitowoc Minute.
Okay. And then, so how did your comedy evolve from the Manitowoc Minute to some of the more sketch style comedy that you have on your social media platforms these days?
Yeah, it it was kind of evolving the way the internet was evolving at the time. I saw some buddies doing, some people I enjoyed watching their videos. I saw them kind of doing more of these sketch style things. And then I remember Ryan from this page, Meanwhile in Wisconsin, very good dude. He reached out to me to want to like partner up on doing a sketch. And so we did, first sketch was just things Wisconsin, I'd say, and that did well. And so it's kind of like a pattern, if something does well, then we just do more, so we did that one, then we did a part 2, and then I saw Miles, the You Betcha guy, and he was doing some sketch style stuff outside of the box at that point in time. So then I was inspired by those guys on that end, and so then we started collaborating, and it we've been collaborating ever since.
Gotcha. And then, I mean, have you been up to the Upper Peninsula before?
Oh yeah. In
Okay.
fact, my family, every year, we go up to Land O'Lakes on
Oh,
the Cisco
nice.
chain, which is half in Wisconsin, half in the UP. So yeah, I always venture over, to your side of the lake at some point. But yeah, I've been up. I've been many times doing shows and just for fun.
Okay. So then do you have like I guess the way I want to phrase this, like, so you understand like Uper culture a little bit, right?
I would say somewhat. but I'm always a student of the game if I'm not a Uber myself. So
Fair enough. And so then
yeah.
from what you do know of Uber culture, has any of that like aligned into the comedy that you provide?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. In fact, a lot of people say the accent that I did in the Manitowoc Man is a very Uber accent, and I can definitely I can see that, and um I mean I get up there a lot, and I mean it's very up north Wisconsin, it's just a little farther north.
And then let's see. So with that in mind, and like having this Midwest like edge to your comedy, how do you think that your comedy appeals to people who live outside of the Midwest, who aren't as in tune to the Midwest mannerisms that are part of your comedy?
Yeah, good question. Actually, my stand-up started in Los Angeles. That's where I was doing it. And at that point I, was doing Midwest jokes. Um, but I would just, it worked there. I mean, that's really where it took off. And the stand-up aspect, that's where that took off. And I'm thinking about why it probably worked. And I bet it's probably because either everyone is from the Midwest or knows someone from the Midwest, or at least enough people in any given comedy club to like get the laughs. But now when I tour around, if something isn't Midwest, or if something is Midwest and I'm not in the Midwest, I'll just set it up a little different. I'll just give people the few pieces of information they need to know in order to get the jokes of that bit,
Right.
and I'll give it to them and kind of like I'll make that a bit, the explainer a bit. So I think it works, because at the end of the day, like the thing about the Midwest, I think that people find relatable is it's about family. It's about being overly polite. It's about being a people pleaser. I mean, these are not just things that are in the Midwest. These are things that are everywhere. And so it's just kind of like acknowledging the underlying like humanity in all that stuff.
Man, that little description of different families in the Midwest. I've never heard someone describe my family in so few words before. um, I think it is true, and I know so many different families up here who are just like that. I mean, that's you practically perfectly summarized it. I, I definitely wasn't expecting that. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so then, so what kind of led to you deciding to do or planning to do a show up here in Houghton? And what's kind of special about performing in a smaller city like this place?
Oh, it's great. I've done it one time before. It was a lot of fun. And what's special is that like the community comes out. Like if there is something that's going on that, um look, it doesn't matter if it's me, it doesn't matter if it's a musician that, a lot of people like when you get like that many of your neighbors together, united on one thing, coming out to an event, you got this interesting sense of unity about something. You can see people face to face. A lot of times we're seeing people screen to screen. So especially in a small town, it's just any reason to see each other in person. And really it's not even the stuff I'm doing, but it's just about getting people together. For me, it's great because you see some names and stuff and comments on your videos, but to get to see people to hear those laughs not as an LOL but as an actual laugh is like that's amazing. And then I just love getting into town, kind of doing, if we can get in early, I always try to get in early and give a run around and like see what's going on, walk around the town, like find a few observations, incorporate those. And if I don't have time, then sort of do some crowd work, ask the audience, learn a little bit, and I always seem to find some fun things doing that.
That's actually really interesting. I never really even considered like like you, like even before, like just before a show or shortly before a show, that like you'd walk around the area and like take inspiration immediately from what you see, what you experience. That's a really awesome way of looking at it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you find some great bits that way. That's for sure.
now I've got a controversial question. Do you think
Yeah,
the UP should be part of Michigan or Wisconsin or a state of its own?
Wisconsin. UP should be
Oh,
part of Wisconsin. Yeah, yeah, because Michigan, I mean, I've beat this deal down, but you can be the mitten state, but you gotta get rid of the thing that doesn't look like a mitten. And as a Wisconsin, I don't care about being a mitten state. I'll be honest with you about that. The mitten state is a proxy war for getting us the UP. Okay, so I'm playing politics with it. I want the UP.
oh
The UP
boy.
is amazing. Yeah.
Wisconsin, Green Bay wants all the Packer fans up in the UP as part of their
Yeah,
city.
well, we are pretty much, we're
Mm,
pretty much there. Okay. So just pretend that line's not there,
I'm just saying there's a lot of Lion fans, especially this season, that may have an issue with that particular state. No,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
yeah, they are having a good season though. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll give it. It's been
Mhm.
generation, maybe several generations.
I don't know. Maybe sometime in our lifetime or afterwards, Wisconsin might get cheeky and decide that they want to slice the copper country and all the above. But that's I'm gonna make a lot of Ubers angry just oh boy. And then I had two more questions for you. So you have a book called the Midwest Survival Guide. But many of our
Yeah.
new staff here actually are from other areas of the country and had to adapt to the culture of the Midwest and the UP pretty quickly. I was born in the UP, so I literally grew up on it. I didn't need any sort of re-education or anything like
Yeah.
that. But if you could offer like your top three Midwest survival tips, now just in the general Midwest, it doesn't have to necessarily be the UP, to someone who's coming into this place, what would be those kinds of tips?
Well, I would say, it's an be nice, ask questions later kind of place, a lot of hellos when you don't want to say hello, a lot of small talk and chit chat when you might not want to do it. You just gotta kind of stomach it because it's gonna get thrown in your face. You gotta prepare for the cold, bring the big coat. And if you really want to make your life interesting in the spring, leave $5 in your big coat pocket. You'll forget about it by the time it gets to November. And when you feel that $5 in your pocket, you're gonna get excited. It's a bank account for your excitement. And then finally, I would say prepare for the long, drawn out Midwest goodbyes. When you think you should be leaving a place, add an extra 2 to 3 hours, and then maybe you'll be right. So that would be it.
Uh, I've got some certain grandparents who would match that description of having a very long goodbye pretty well.
The
Oh,
old window cleaners.
yeah, they give you a long goodbye. They give you a whole bunch of different baked goods and food to take out the door with you, and
Yep. Yep. Leftovers in a Tupperware.
yeah,
Cool
just
Whip Tupperware
it's
tin.
dinner rolls, some turkey, that stuff, especially around Thanksgiving. Oh, jeez. Now I'm getting hungry just thinking about Thanksgiving. All right, and then just to kind of wrap things up, what would just to the people who are going to be coming out to your shows later tomorrow? Jeez, I can't believe it's tomorrow. What's like I don't know, can you give them like a I don't know, like not like a preview, but like maybe a little something to get them even more excited than they already are, something little to get them really eager for tomorrow night.
Well, it's a brand new hour. So if they saw the last hour, this is all new stuff. Adam Gruel is going to be with me from Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. We got a new album coming out. We may sort of do a couple songs off that album, depending. My throat's a little run down right now, but we'll see. And it's just gonna be a good time. I'm hoping to get in early, take a walk around, town and see if we can incorporate that or do some crowd work or something like that. It's just gonna be a fun time, and I'm excited to see people there. And I think there's gonna be booze. I don't know. Historically, there is. You might want to fact check that.
Thank you to Colin and Charlie for that interview today, and thank you all for joining us to watch it. If you'd like to learn more about the shows, you can tune into your TV6 early news at 6/5 Central Time tonight, where Colin will have more information on how you can get tickets and how you can attend. Thank you again for joining us live at the TV6 Digital Desk. Have a great rest of your day.